Anybody got time for that? What's up, y'all? Yo, it's the Winklevoss. It's the Gemini IPO, and it's trying to faux show bro. Good morning again. So this morning has been exceptional. If you guys can hear the sound of my voice over there on Twitter, and I don't exactly know where this is going anymore, but see this IPO that's about to break the VWAP. It's faux show broed a couple of times so far this morning, and we're just waiting to see it break right now. So kind of waiting on it. Not really much else going on, but this day was over in 7 minutes today. Had the open faux show bro twice for long trades, QQQ long because the market never goes down on Mondays, and that's pretty much it. There was some other trades, got involved in the figure IPO. Obviously, right now involved in Gemmy, waiting to see if this bros. If you see the fake out, shake out, and then we had another one fake out, shake out. And now we're just waiting for the bigger move to the upside, or we're just going to sit here watching it go back and forth. Which, again, a lot of what may have happened today has already been. The market's having its, we're having a pause on a lot of stocks, waiting. But this idea that there's not a lot of activity going on, that's completely false. I've read articles about how the market's waiting and doing nothing in anticipation of the Fed cut. I don't exactly know what market that was, but there's not been any waiting, and there has not been any stagnation anywhere. There's been opportunity abound every single day, and obviously if you know where to look for it. IPOs have been the hottest thing in the world. We had Fufu last week. We were trading this thing like a beast. Gemmy, figure. And by the way, if you didn't get into the figure on the first day, second day was much better. Third day is even better today. Back in the trade, crushing it on lift, crushing it with this V-wave trade, destroying the world on the mob. So again, if you're not swing trading in this market, or at least have some investments on, you're missing out. So it has been exceptional trading, and it hasn't stopped. We've had maybe 2 boring days the entire year. All right, Gemmy, here we go. So now we're looking for the turn. If this turns right here, we break the VWAP. This will be the first VWAP since the fake out shakeout. We're looking for the bro part. You got your faux, you got your show, and now we need the bro. So let me show you why it worked so well on open. OPEN. We got the faux and the show down at prior day VWAP. So if you get the faux and the show that holds prior day VWAP, that's telling you in no uncertain words, there's nobody selling. Buy it when it breaks back over VWAP. And we got paid. And then a little faux show bro action right there. Got paid again. And then inevitably this one, faux show bro, VWAP's telling you the party's over. Time to get the hell out. And that's why if you're not trading with VWAP, you're going to be lost, especially as a day trader. And that's the wonderful part about it. We can go in and out of these trades all day based on just one little thing. This one pattern, VWAP breaks. And right now, again, we're profitable on this trade, but we want more because we want to see this thing break. Because take a look at what figure just did, right? FIGR. Little faux show bro thing tacked on 5 points. So let's get this party started on Gemmy. And if you're a fan of the Winklevoss brothers, these guys know how to make money. But these IPOs, this market is just on fire. On fire, people. IPOs usually don't do this well collectively. They're all doing well. And the ones that don't do well initially, like the figure, come roaring back. Now you got an IPO called Fufu. We were crushing this thing, goofing around. Fufu. We got the Momo. We got the what are we saying? We got the FOMO on the Fofo, which is a no-no, but it's go-go. And then it became a no-no as a Rolo, and then a Dodo, and a Momo, and a Fofo, and away we go-go. And we had some fun. But this one, everybody hang feng tonight. It's a Chinese IPO. If you read the description of the company, it actually says, we don't do anything. We just felt like going public. That was the description of the stock. They basically said, we're a Chinese company, meaning we don't do anything. We have no business model. We just brought a symbol public because we could, and you morons will buy it. .com. But you see the big size on the offer on Gemmy. If we get through 33.20, there will be no coming back. Right? There you go. You want to see that 33.20 guy go bid, and then all hell will break loose, hopefully, and this thing rips another 4 or 5, and everybody gets paid, and then we, chalk it up as a win. I'm just looking for some more out of this stock. Because of what Figure just did. And let me tell you something about IPOs, Holmes. If you guys know about IPOs, right? ARM, A-R-A-R-M, right? Remember A-Lab, A-L-A-B. They both kind of were decent, but then they fell apart. And then when they came back and they broke new all-time highs, they ripped. And in 2025, when your stock breaks out, it doesn't go up 10%. It goes up 100%. So when you start starting to see breakouts, right? That's why Lyft, phenomenal, right? I hope you guys have some Lyft. Hope you have some VWAP. I hope you had some Mob. Because when these stocks break new all-time highs, they just don't go up another couple of points. They go up 100%, if not 2 to 3 to 4. And it's best time to be long ever. So what you should do now, right, is get a list of IPOs and see what they've done over the last couple of weeks since their IPO, right? Some of the other IPOs I brought to your attention, remember Viking? Yeah, stock's at $65 now, right? Remember that one? VIK? Awesome. But the IPOs that haven't worked out or went down first, when they turn, ooh, baby. All right, so I don't even know if I mentioned the Rambus trade, right? You hit 100. I know a lot of you guys might have been waiting for that one. You got it, right? And that's why, we were talking about how these stocks, when they break out, the trader that's been in this thing since I gave it to you 3 years ago, I'm glad you waited 3 years. But if you just bought it last week on the $75 break, you made 25 points in 4 days. You didn't have to wait 3 years. So, that's what this market's all about. Just buy the next breakout, and they're going to rip like all these quantum stocks. When they all start breaking all-time highs, they're going to double. Once they start really ripping again, right? Stocks like USAR, right? It's consolidating. What's going to happen when it breaks out? It's going to double. So you get involved on the breakouts, and what other people were waiting years for, or months, or whatever, you make it. It makes up for lost time, and very, very quickly. Yep, URA, big fan. And by the way, the open trade continues to be a trade, right? There is no need to own this thing because you're getting sell-offs in the middle of the day most of the days. Even when we've had these wonderful starting days where we get paid twice on a long trade, it's become a short quite often. And again, if you're on the other side of the 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal trade, which is what's happening right here on open, you're obviously on the wrong side of the trade because that's one of our favorite setups. Now, again, if you're not a short trader, you should be saying to yourself, oh, good, I'm glad open's going down because chances are you're going to be able to buy it at some point today and make some money. So it's good that it's going down right now. So now that it's below the price where it held earlier, that's bearish. So now take a look at 2 days worth of VWAP. That's where it's at right now. So that's important. Any one of these trades, you could just sit back, wait for the setup to form, get the risk reward in your favor, take the trade, and then act accordingly. So for instance, let's say you said, hey, I kind of like it now. All right, cool. Buy it. You know why? Because the most you're risking right now is 7 cents. Right? So if you're buying it right here, 943, and you're thinking that might be the low, if that's your thesis, right, then you just sell it all if you're wrong, because there really isn't anything underneath there to protect you. But if you're right, you just caught yourself a double bottom at. So does anybody think they're not going to raise interest rates or lower? Or I forgot what we want. Well, I want them to raise interest rates, but I don't think I'm going to get that. But the idea of the market rallying another big leg up because they're lowering interest rates doesn't even compute to me. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's probably what will happen. The market will rally it because it's going to go up anyway. It's incidental. There's the camp that's throwing out that's going to be a sell on the news event. But if they're throwing that out there, it's not going to happen. If nobody was saying that, then it might happen. But now that they've said it out loud, it won't happen. And again, that commentary, worthless. We'll just trade what happens that day. So if the market's up on Wednesday and then it spikes up on them lowering interest rates and then it breaks back below the spike low candle, then we know we could short the market. And that's the only if then I need. So if the selling starts, we'll short and then it'll be just any other trade. Nothing will be different. Chances are it's not going to go down. But if they decide to sell the market off, we'll be right there for it. Yeah, kind of like what this action is. You see, if you have a blow off top and then a rollover, if the market's telling us that, hey, as much as you love it and you thought it was going up, right? Same thing with open. A lot of people were excited about this thing breaking 11 today. The market said, not so fast. You do what the market tells you. You know what the market's telling me? We're about to lift off for another 20 to 50%. That's what it's telling me. What's telling me is the Qs are going to be 1,000 before you know it. And it's going to be the same premise, just like the Tesla, right? Remember when Tesla reported bad earnings and people thought, oh, that's it. That's got to be it. Oh, man, nobody wants this stock anymore. It's up 140 points since that afternoon. right? Good luck. Good luck getting in the way of the market. Good luck shorting. And if you bought more Jemmy just now at 32.75, so did I. Let's go. It's just one long consolidation right now, right? No reason to be doing really much of anything. It's still above the prices we bought. I bought some more at 33. I bought some 32.75. I'm still accumulating. And inevitably, when this thing does break VWAP, now it's more money that I'll make because I just got some at 32.75. So again, I'm not selling. I'd like to see it get to VWAP. Maybe I'll throw 100 shares out there to see if anybody wants to buy for me at 33 and a quarter. But I'm really looking for the stock to rip to 34. I want my dollar. Well, I'd like $2, but I'm not going to be, too greedy. And let me just tell you something, right? A lot of the action we've been seeing, especially this year, when the market actually starts to normalize and actually goes down once in a while, you might get yourself in trouble, right? Because right now, dollar cost averaging on long trades, it's almost impossible to lose unless they completely fall apart and get hammered. Like even open, so the sucker that bought it today at 10 and change, they ain't feeling too good. But chances are in this market, in this environment, they could buy it on the way down, buy it on the way down, buy it on the way down. Inevitably it pops and they'll get out either flat or making money. Making some money. There's going to be a market where that trade doesn't work. And if you keep doing that, inevitably you're going to turn a small loss into a massively big loss, and it's going to ruin what you're trying to do here. But right now, this market, it's not going down. So dollar cost averaging has been awesome, as long as it's not some shitty biotech pump and dump. But what I'm thinking about doing on Wednesday is just staying live the whole day and just never go off the air from basically 9 to 5. And if I'm right, which means I'm wrong, because when I say if I'm right and the market does sell off, which it won't, I already know it's not going to happen. But if it does, I'm going to be putting on the biggest short position I've had on since 2012. And if you must know, that trade didn't work out at all. But if the market tells me I'm right this time, and we do start breaking a prior day low or a multiple time frame VWAP, I'm going to be pushing that short, and I'm going to put on the biggest short position on the Qs that I've had on in over 12 years. Like completely maxed out. I'm going to call in favors. I'm going to borrow money from people I haven't spoke to in 20 years. That's how big the position is going to be. Like I'm talking thousand puts to start the position. That's what I'm talking about. In the money puts. And thankfully, these zero date options, ooh, man, because if we're right and we do sell off, we got 2 hours for that day. Ooh, man, that could get nasty. Nasty. No, it's not nasty. Buying more of this Jemmy. That's right. Bring it. Bring it, meat. Bring it. Let's go, Winklevoss. I ain't here to make 50 cents. Come on, Winklevoss. Give me my $2. And by the way, you see this open trade? This open trade reflects the entire thesis, premise, idea, inkling, notion that I have on the market. No matter how much you love something long, the market will tell you what to do. And that's why when I reached out to Rob Schneider, he didn't respond to me. I used to work at Saturday Night Live, if you didn't know. When Rob Schneider was just getting there, I was there. I told him to reach out to me because, hey, listen, everybody can be involved in the pump side. It's the dump part that's hard, knowing when to sell, right? VWAP is that moment. VWAP and multiple time frame VWAPs will give you your heads up. And if you choose to ignore it, then you're just doing the wrong thing. Come on, Winklevoss. By the way, you see what they're doing with the Jemmy? They drop the bid and they move the offer. That's manipulation, Holmes. They're trying to manipulate us to thinking this thing's not good. They keep dropping bids, moving offers, right? So they're dropping the bid to try to scare you. Then they move the offer because they don't want to let you buy it at the same time. Just chopping around. It's being accumulated right now. Hopefully it accumulates to the point that it goes to $35 today. But you see that open? Still hasn't broken down, right? There, another little faux show, bro. They're buying it down there. By the way, is anybody actually in Rambus still? Because, man, don't sell it. I mean, you got to sell some here at 100 that it hit finally. But don't sell it all. Stock's 21 points from an all-time high. Hey, if you're just joining us, yeah, we already spoke about the sports gambling. We hit the trifecta again, betting against the Jets, Giants, and Yankees in a parlay. Betting against the Jets was the main. And I was on the cusp of a super parlay hit that I've never hit before in my life. $100 would have got me about $11,000 because I put a parlay in. It was a 5-legger. So actually, it's like 7 legs. But one of the legs was the impossible bet. I had to predict the score of the Jets game. I put in one parlay with 42-10. I put another one at 45-10. And then I had Bills to win by exactly 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So freaking close. I got the 10 part right. All of the Bills just needed to score was just 12 more points, and it would have been sick. But the lovely thing about sports gambling now is that if you have, let's say, a $50 parlay on, and you're only 2 legs away from hitting, they give you the option to cash out. My kid, he had only $12 on it and was able to cash out at 165. So he took the money. $10 turned to $165 because that's how close we came. And it turned out to be a complete loss. So cashing out for a 16 bagger was the play. Imagine back in the 80s, you called your bookie Bruno or Joey. Hey, Joey, how you doing? First of all, they wouldn't pick up the phone after the game started. Hey, Joey, how you doing? Yeah, these Jets are looking pretty good right now. Do you think I could cash out of this bet before they start sucking in the fourth quarter? Good luck with that one. But now you have that luxury. It's fantastic. Backfired a little bit because I cashed out on my Giants bet because I wanted to root for them at the end there. And holy crap, when they went up, we were going nuts. And then they wound up losing anyway. By the way, that was the Giants' high watermark for the entire year, almost beating Dallas. That was it. Now you've got no hope. New York sports, man, best best decade ever. Complete losing across the board. Anyway, yeah, this Jemmy trade, we might be sitting here for an hour just watching it go back and forth if it doesn't break 33.20 soon. Yeah, I never came that. I haven't come that close to hitting such a big one in a long time. I put $20 on just the straight bet, the exacta. Yeah, it's crazy. But the easy one is, because I feel like I should get paid more when the Jets lose by more, and you can now. So instead of laying just 5.5, I laid 20 to get extra money. I even laid 30. I figured they'd lose by 30. Right, man. I just love sports gambling now. They have so many varieties to do this. It's just absolutely never ending. Be able to hedge your bet in the middle of the game. I mean, it's the sickest thing ever. I love it. And that's why we own SRAD, kids. Because sports gambling websites can't function without SRAD. Data analytics for your sports gambling websites. Sports Radar, SRAD on the NASDAQ. Buy all you can. Stock's going to $50 and then 80 and then 120. So listen, as much as some of the people that say this market's been boring, this is boring, right? So now you're getting at least an hour. It was a pretty active first hour. Now we're in that environment that they were describing. Nothing's going on, right? We're just waiting, right? But we're going to still go up, right? So the waiting, sure, we'll be up another 4 points on the Qs tomorrow, and then we'll be up another 4 points going into the Fed, and then inevitably we'll just either give back some of the froth that we just tacked on into the Fed, or we just break through 6, go to 620, and then go to 700 inevitably by Christmas on the Qs, which isn't that big of a move. It's 110 points. It's not that big of a deal to be at 700 by the end of the year on the Qs. It really isn't. Earnings schmurnings, right? That would be terrible, but yeah. No one's going to believe anything anyway. So when a company reports earnings, people just, I don't know, nothing's real, right? So what's the point of reporting anyway, right? What's the point of any of this, right? Economic data, earnings reports. It's all a video game anyway at this point. But I do like earnings as catalyst to play my reversion trade. So that would suck if they only did it twice a year. So yeah, if you're sitting here bored like I am, do some homework, right? Make a list of all the IPOs from 2025. Take a look at the highs and lows, put them on a watch list, and when any one of them, it doesn't matter which one it is, breaks all-time highs, buy it. So while we got nothing else to talk about, the trade of the year really was a short, because that Oracle short for 3 days presented itself with risk reward in your favor. You had an understanding why it should go down, the profit taking. Prior day VWAPs came into play, momentum on the downside came into play, and it was just phenomenal, right? And if you just stayed focused in the sickest bull market in the history of ever, right? By far, this is by far the best bull market ever, right? Since April 9th and the May 12th power gap. This has been the biggest up move in the history of ever. One of the best trades was the Oracle short for 3 fantastic days, right? Because you stayed focused, right? And in those days, you had everything you needed, right? You had finally your momentary blow off top that gave us the first chance to short this thing at 552. Sorry, 342.50. We're only using a 2.5 point risk. Got the VWAP retraced that day, cash. Then the opposite of the faux show, bro, which was the failed attempt to rally and then the roll, and that gave us the heads up that hey, maybe we're onto something on this Oracle short. And then the next day, VWAP break, pre-market low break to prior day VWAP for 22 points. And then the next day, VWAP break, pre-market low break for another 10 points. So just staying focused on the Oracle in the sickest bull market in the history of ever, one of the best trades of the year was 3 days crushing Oracle. And if you guys know about these leverage versions, it was a great choice. By the way, if you don't know about RGTX, my new favorite toy, this is the leverage version of Rigatoni. Rigatoni moves 12 cents. This stock moves $40. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but pretty much that's the ratio. So instead of trading, if you're watching RGTI and this thing starts to move, don't bother buying this stock. Buy this. This thing moved 16 cents the other day. This stock moved 4 points. It's not supposed to be 30x, but apparently it is. And there's 900 of these stocks out there, these double, triple leverage versions of the real stocks. They move a lot more than 2x. So 2x is like it's not really giving you the whole story. These stocks are moving. And I think it was, what was it, ORCD? No, what was it? I don't even remember which one it was, but I know ORCX is the leveraged upside one. I forgot which one it was. My thoughts on Figure is buy it. Already traded it to the upside once today. And I'm thinking about buying it. Well, I would have bought it back just now. Thanks for bringing it up to me. There you go. Faux show, bro. VWAP break. Hope you're in it. There it is. So you see how it breaks the VWAP and then it breaks recent lows. Then it comes back. There's your reason to buy. Faux show, bro. VWAP break. And then look at that wonderful thing. Breaks, holds it, breaks, and then holds it. That's the main part right there. Once you fake out, shake out, then get over the VWAP and then hold it from on top, That's confirmation of bias. That's confirmation of bullishness and bias. And wonderful. That's a nice 2-pointer right there. Better than sitting around this Jemmy. Huh? All right, any day now, Jemmy. Any day now. You see what they're doing with the Jemmy, right? Same thing I just described. They're dropping the bids, but nobody's there. Nobody's selling. They're just trying to get people to sell by dropping the bids, right? There's no reason to sell until there's a reason to sell. And what is that reason to sell? Down here. So I'm still waiting. And if it breaks over the blue line, I'm buying more. So I waited this long. GoPro. I had a move a couple of weeks ago, which was kind of funny because we were trying to find the worst stocks we could possibly think of. Yeah, there's one of them. GoPro is one step above the weed stocks, one level below the Chinese stocks, right there in that limbo moment. Like GoPro is like Beyond Meat, just waiting to be put to death. Somebody take these stocks behind the shed and end them. But they're still alive. Another one like that is Space. Yeah, this stock, absolutely zero. This stock should be negative $40. Just putting it up on my screen, I think I owe somebody $20 right now. Garbage. But these are the stocks that just keep resurrecting themselves in the market that never goes down. Just weed stocks are so awful. That's why I can't be burned by them again. To me, they're only shorts, right? And if you guys listened to me a couple of weeks ago, I said, do whatever you got to do. Just put the short on now. You got the blow off top on MJ. I think should be back to $25 within a couple of weeks. Well, now it's down 10 points. I don't want to hear it. As the guy told me that I must be dumber than a brick to get in the way of these stocks right now because the government's going to change the tax status. And that's going to change. Okay, you sure? Yeah, keep buying weed stocks. Let me know how it works out for you. They're all going to zero. You just were duped again. And this MJ index will eventually be at $2 and they'll reverse split it again. There's nothing inside there that's worth anything. Till rate is zero, Cron to zero, Grow Dog to zero, VFF to zero, ACB to zero, CGC to zero. Every one of these stocks are going to zero, negative zero. By the way, Q's new highs while we're sitting here, if anybody's concerned. Dumber than a brick, I was called. That was a good one. I am, but I know more about the market than most people.
You know, it's not about the companies. It's about the change of tax status.
Is it? Were you around when the first weed stocks came to fruition? There was a crop literally. Oh, there was a group of weed stocks before the ones that you're familiar with. When this was when weed stocks first became a thing, they don't even exist anymore. There was a dispensary company called Medbox, MDBX, right? They were gonna. Wow, it's actually now been hijacked by the MDB daily ETF. Medbox was a pink sheet stock of a company that put out a it was a joint dispensary box. It was a what's it called? Like a soda machine. What are those called? Vending machine. Thank you. It was a vending machine for weed. It was an awesome idea. Stock went from like 12 cents to like $50, and now it doesn't exist. And there was a whole generation of weed stocks that existed before the ones that you're all getting familiar with, the Tilrays and the Crons and all the CGCs. They all went to zero, and these will all go to zero as well, because it's not an investable industry. The person that made the most money on it was my buddy, who came up with a real estate investment plan for buying land in Canada for the growers. So he bought land in Canada and then divided it up into parcels, and then sold the parcels as trusts. So you own pieces of the land that growers were buying to use to grow weed, and it actually worked. He did very well. And the land is still being used, and you're getting paid by the growers. Pretty cool idea. App loving short. I don't know. I don't like anything short except, weed stocks. But let's see. Right now, yeah. If you are short, right? If you are short already, you already got a lot of what's going to happen. Right? Blue line, orange line. I'd be covering some now, and you're looking for that price to get tested where it came from. And then if it breaks there, then you're looking for another 5 or 6 to the downside. But I just love the name of this company. That's why I'm a fan. I have no idea what they do, but every time I hear AppLovin, I think of McLovin, and I like it. Plus, shorting the market is just dumb. So if you're going to short, it better look like this AppLovin chart, where it actually breaks VWAP, breaks the range, and down at prior day VWAP, you're already done with 50% of the trade. And at 584 and 585, I'd be running from the short. By the way, you see what they're doing with the Gemmy? We might be sitting here all day. All they're doing is consolidating it between 33.50, 32.50, and 33 right now. Inevitably, it's going to break. It might take all day. It might happen tomorrow. But bottom line, these guys don't lose money, right? And I'm going to be part of this IPO when it breaks out. And I'm going to be part of it in a big, big, big way. And when it breaks over 45.89, I'll still be in it, because that'll be on its way to 50. And when it breaks 50, it goes to 80, and then it goes to 120. So consolidate away. I'll be waiting. McLovin. wanted to make an extra little bit, yeah. 15x ain't bad. Yeah, relatively speaking, on $10, that's insane, but still. Hey, guess what, everybody? We're about to have Qs hitting new highs. Oh, wait, we did. Oh, right. You guys are long the Qs, right? Nobody thinks that actually the market was going to go down today, did you? You know, the market doesn't go down on Mondays or Fridays, or generally Tuesdays or Wednesdays either. Every once in a while, it'll have a down Thursday in a bull market, but not lately. More importantly, who wants to go to Vegas? We're thinking about taking a hit the bid school trip to Vegas again. We did one a couple of years ago, and it was awesome. There were so many things awesome about it. I think the most awesome part, it was like 20 of us got together and we all liked each other. For the most part, it was pretty cool. And then we went to the Mandalay Bay. We rented out. We had a table. We'll do it again Tuesday night at Mandalay Bay. And then the Day Trading Expo will be there, so we could tell our wives and loved ones that we're actually going there for business. So the Day Trading Expo, I used to be a big part of this thing. Now it's really not the same type of a show. But I might be doing a 15-minute little speech on a stage somewhere talking about VWAP. And that's the only 15 minutes you need to spend at this thing, because most of it's just everyone trying to sell you something that you don't need, or tell them they'll tell you their opinion on whatever they're talking about. You only need one opinion, right? VWAP. It's the only opinion you need. So if you guys are interested, I'm putting together a school trip. We'll get a group rate. We'll go to the Paris. It's a nice hotel too. And I'll get some Hit the Bid t-shirts. Don't be a dick, vote Glick. And we'll storm in there, take over this place. They don't call it the Day Trading Expo anymore. It's called the Money Show. There's actually one now. There's a little bit different one now. They have one they call it a symposium. I do love myself a symposium, but I don't know if I can make it. So here, this is right at a good time to go away. It's like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And yeah. So, well, it turned out to be a pretty boring hour, right? Really just the Qs going up slowly, like every typical Monday, and not much else going on. What happened with the open trade, actually, after all? Oh, well, if you bought the dip, right, you got paid while we're sitting here, staring at Jemmy doing nothing. The open trade actually did tack on, and there you go. That is, my friends, a payday, right? Little faux show, bro. Adjust your risk at a nickel, and there's your prior day VWAP retrace. Very nice. Speaking of Jemmy, let's go. I'll buy more. That's me buying more. There you go. By the way, if anybody's in the open, very nice. If you're still in the queues, sweet. And that's me. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Roccavano. Same price. It just got done 32.75, 76, 77. Just buying it while it's, it's being accumulated. I might as well join in on the accumulation. Just sitting here going sideways. Still waiting. 'Cause the waiting, they say, is the hardest part. No, I guess it is. Last time we went to the show, there was really nobody even talking about stocks anymore. They had art guys there. They actually had a coin dealer, which I love coins. There was a coin dealer there, and I was actually in the market for Roman currency. And this dude had what was, he had something from the Colosseum. There was a hoard, as they call it, where they find new coins under the ground, and they're all kind of melted together from time and compression. And they chip the coins and make them separate. And he was selling these things slab from the NGC. I was like, wow, I didn't think I'd be buying a coin, but I wound up buying some Roman currency while I was there. It was pretty awesome. I remember when the market was crashing, everybody back in the day, there was one Traders Expo where there was everybody was talking about gold and pips. You guys know about pips? Yeah, that was when everybody thought they were going to be currency traders. That worked out really well because nobody makes money as a Forex trader. And I'm not, it might sound like a joke. I've never met a profitable Forex trader in my life. I heard people talking about Forex. I've heard them mention it. I've literally never met, like, anytime, even the guys that were doing these shows, I'm like, so do you make money trading Forex? They would never say yes immediately. If they don't say yes immediately, they're lying to you. Well, nope, I guess you don't. Well, right now I'm just concentrating. Oh, okay. So these pips and stuff, it's just in your head, right? But the last Day Traders Expo, it was like all just weird shit. You had your crypto guys, you had your art guys, coin guys there. I mean, it wasn't a bad scene, but it wasn't trading the way I remember it. What's up, Jemmy? You ain't gonna shake me out of this thing. I'm in. That's me on the bid. Come on. Now push it back to 33.12 and scare the shorts. Let's get the fudge out of here already. I'm not shutting the show off until this stock goes back to 33.20 now. Let's go. By the way, Q's new highs, people. Q's new freaking highs. It never ends. It never ends. It never will. So we were thinking 606 by Fed meeting. I mean, and we said 606 about 9 weeks ago. Looks like we're going to nail it. We had the one momentary sell-off on August 19th, and that was the last time the market saw any selling, right? And now it's just cruise control to all-time highs and then some. And then we got to tack on at least 10%, which is another 60 points. And then another 10% from there gets you to around 702 on the Qs. It's not a big deal. You don't think we're about to go up another 100 points? Why? Why wouldn't we? Q's new highs as you're making that debate. While you're having that debate with yourself, Q's new highs. And then tomorrow will be new highs. And then there'll be some more new highs after that. And then Jemmy will be $45 tomorrow afternoon. You're like, oh, man, weren't we in this thing at $32.70 yesterday? Yes, we were. Yes, we fucking were. When the stock's at 130, don't forget this day. when you had a chance to buy it at $32.92. Yes, you did. You think the Winklevoss IPO is going to be a failure? Come on now. These guys are running billions of dollars. Billions. These guys could run their own stock if they wanted to 500. They're in Bitcoin from like $3. How much money those two kids have? They could run this stock to 700 tonight if they felt like it. By the way, we're buying it all. We're buying the entire float. Once the stock breaks back over $42, woo, baby. All right, I'm supposed to leave in an hour. I'm not going anywhere. I'm never shutting the show off. I'm going to leave it running till Wednesday at 5 o'clock from this point on. How about that? So we could all be here when they, I don't know, something about interest rates, blah, 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 blah. By the way, that GoPro, there you go. Looking for 250 on it. Not bad. So anyway, we're going to be doing the show from 11 to 12 now. And the reason being is that usually we're a little bit more active between 11 and 12 and 12. Well, always more active between 11 and 12, between 12 and 1. Today, a little bit of an exception, really not much going on, but enough, especially if you're long the queues this whole time. So some other ones, if you haven't been listening, we're just, while we're sitting here doing nothing, the UUU, still liking this trade. Kind of hit a wall, but I like it. Consolidation. DNN, still waiting for that 250 break. Mob finally sold some at 750 last week. And at 666, I will be selling the rest of it. As much as I like the stock, when it breaks back below the price it broke out from, I dump it. 666, the number of the beast. And I'm out. V-Wave, we bought more last week. Not selling it. We got those December calls. Loving it. Cheap way to own the option. Cheap way to own this stock for the next couple of months. Bought those 10s for $1.20, $1.30, $1.40. SRAD, bought more under 30. Still never selling that. I haven't sold a share yet, except I sold some calls, taking some premium. The UVXY is going green. It's an illusion. Because now it's broken. Under 1250, it's just broken now. Unless it's up like 20% down here, the 2 cents doesn't matter. But if it goes to 11 and a quarter suddenly in the next 15, 20 minutes, that's something different. But at 12 o'clock, right? UVXY going green, it's kind of insignificant, but the day's been kind of boring already since 10:45. So little pullback on the cues. We'll probably just consolidate now, go nowhere for the next 4 hours, and close. Tomorrow, I'd be interested to see if they try to shake people out of the market. If tomorrow's a down day, then that's probably telling us there won't be any reaction to the Fed meeting. So if we rally right into the Fed meeting, up again tomorrow, up into the Fed meeting, then we got a chance to sell off just to give back what they tacked on. But if we sell off before the Fed meeting, chances are it's going to be a non-event. Anything's better than what we're looking at right now, man. Oof. I need a nap now, staring at the screen, watching to do nothing. So on another news, I spoke to my crypto guys. We came up with a really good plan. And now I'm just putting my proposal out there with a couple other guys. I'm talking to a guy that helped found Voyager. Sorry, Kraken. He did work at Voyager at one point. I got a couple other guys who do airdrops. So I'm getting all the ducks in the row, as they say, and I'm putting out my own coin. And according to the crypto community people, I have what's needed to make a successful coin. I have infrastructure, I've got community, I've got a leader, charismatic leader who promises not to rob everybody. And we are well on our way to having our own HTB coin, or whatever name I give it. Voyager? What happened at Voyager? The whole company went kablooey, right? My next meeting, I want to find out what it takes to get into the big leagues. Because if we can get right onto Coinbase, man, that'd be awesome. But I got connections at Kraken. If we can get our coin listed on Kraken immediately, that'd be awesome. I want it just to be easy to buy. If it's like a 6-step process where I got to put a wallet here, buy the Bitcoin to get to the wallet, and then house it somewhere. No. I just want to be able to press a button and buy it. And then I call the Winklevoss brothers and tell them about my coin and get them to buy it and then have them wear t-shirts with my coin on it. There you go, Winklevoss. That's me buying more. See, they keep hitting my bid. That's right, fucker. All right, now I got a lot of it. So now I got to start getting into battle mode here. All right, I just bought more. Every time this thing pulls back, I'm buying it on the bid. So now I got enough of it. I'm not buying any more of it. So it'd be nice for the little spike to get up to 33 and a quarter this time. Come on now. Come on now, Winklevoss. Let's go. 33.20. 33.20. And then we lift off, and I will sell it back to the void, hopefully at 33.68 and 33.90 and 34 and a quarter. Let's go. Come on, Winklevoss. Trying so hard to get me out of this trade. You can't get me out. Not in a bull market. Not with 3 barrels, you can. Not with 3 barrels. Trying to get me out of this no faux show, bro, here. Farewell and adieu to you, fair, stupid shorts. As we squeeze this stock right in your fotch, 10 points. What was the high first day? This one was at $45, right? I think it made it up to there. Yeah, 45. I wouldn't mind 45 right now. If we put out a coin called Jet Coin, as soon as we release it, we'd owe money. Jets coin. There probably is one. Isn't there a coin for everything now? No matter what name you could think of, as somebody has it already. By the way, going back to that Rambus trade, huh? Right? Man. Selling at 100, not bad, right? And if anybody is still swinging it, see that price of $82.15? That's the only price you sell any more of it at if you have to. You held it for this long. You might as well hold out for the next 20, 25 points to 100. The undiscovered gem. The long forgotten Rambus. It has resurrected itself from a 20-year slumber. Thing's going to come back angry. The kids don't even know about Rambus yet. Wait till they find out about this bad boy. Yeah, that's right. Wait till they start talking about this thing at all-time highs. Hey, what's this stock? Oh my God. I wish I would have bought it at $10. $24 years later. Let's go. Why would the market go down? It's about to go up another 20% from here, right? So tell yourself that. That's why it's not going to go down. It's about to go up another 20% from here. That's why it's not going down. Oh my God. this is just watching paint dry for real. Q's no eyes. All right, they're making this impossible for me to want to hold it now. You know, that was a colossal waste of an hour of my time. It's right back to where I bought it. See, that time they didn't sell me any at 32.57. It's just chopping around 50 cents. See that? I just tried to buy more. They didn't give me any that time. I mean, they're just screwing around. We could be sitting there for the next 5.5 hours in a half-point range. And it's just a fucking joke. But still no reason to sell it. Wow. We might be sitting there for the rest of the day doing exactly what we're doing here. In other news, FEIM, you guys know about this one? Got hammered on earnings last week. Interesting company, got hammered on earnings. It was in a massive uptrend. Chances are this is just a buying opportunity on a monster uptrend. FEIM had this one to the radar last week. Knew nothing about it up until Friday. You guys remember Octo? Yeah. Well, good luck if you bought it because you are now never getting your money back. Pump and dump. The Octo now has become Orbs and looks like on a collision course with zero. VIX high still doesn't make the QQQ down. Where's the VIX high? You mean the VIX at the highs of the day? This is insignificant now. There is no volatility. Until you see UVXY go up 3 days in a row, UVXY going green at $10 and 72 cents, it's virtually insignificant. The only significance this market has, it's going up, it's going about to go up another 20% from here. So just some simple math, right? So 591, well, if you were talking to me earlier, it was at 590. So 590 plus 20% gets you 708. I'm going to say somewhere in between, right? So maybe not 708 by Christmas, but 665, right? Or how about this? Higher from here. And then next year, what are we going to do? We're going to go up another 20%, right? It's not like we're going to go down next year. Why would we, right? So we tack on 20. So now you got 20 going into the end, probably 10, 12 to 15 going into the end of the year. 20 next year, right? According to my calculations, on April 20th, 2028, the Q should be roughly 1,043. at about 1:43 p.m. on April 20th, 2028. And that's an underestimate. I'm giving it, I might be underestimating the power of the market because that's only 100% from here. I think we could do more, but roughly estimating we're at about 1,043 around April 20th, 2028. So if you guys are still with me, I hope you are. Party at my house when I hit that exact that exact price. And at that same time, hopefully SRAD's trading at $80 and, you know, well, everything will be higher, obviously. Ukla the monk. I forgot. Is this the software one or is this the nuclear stock? I don't remember which one is which because it's all the same to me. This stock's going to 120, whatever it is. Software or nuclear, doesn't even matter. Because it already did the faux show bro yearly VWAP break. It's already, you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts for this thing to go down. And obviously it's not going down. If this is all-time highs for it, I don't know if it is. Oh, yeah. No brainer. 100, 120, really. Because stocks that break through 80, they go to 120. 100's just a pit stop. And there goes one of my best calls. The crazy thing is 3 of my best calls in the raging bull market from hell that we're in, right, was my shorts, right? Newegg short from 132.50 with a 5-point risk. The stop fell 100 points. And Groupon short. Remember this one? Blow off top on earnings. Stock's got nowhere to go but zero because they suckered people in for the last time. This company doesn't even have a business model. They don't actually exist anymore. Nobody uses it. It's just waiting to go to zero. And somehow they got this thing to go to over $40 after they reported their fake earnings. And now reality's setting in. Reality's setting in on this Gemmy trade. I got to cut bait because now it's stupid because I just wasted an hour and 20 minutes of my life. That was just awful. So, wasting the day away. I'm going to have to set this free soon. All right, we're right back to where this whole freaking trade got started. My God, this was the most boring 50-cent range in a long time. But if you've been in this trade since the original entry, wow. So now what? How long have we been in this thing now? It's been, geez, almost 2 hours. This is like long-term investing for me. I probably should buy even more now because it's back to my original freaking price. Anyway, still using the lows of the day. Still got it. Bull market. Not like I got to panic on a long trade, but I don't want to stock breaking IPO lows with me still being in it. Wow. But this is the bull market, right? So you don't sell stocks because they're boring. You don't sell stocks because they're going nowhere. You sell stocks when they break down into certain very specific prices, and otherwise you hold until they do. So 2 hours go by and the stock doesn't do anything. You got still got no reason to sell it. But the one thing you don't do is put on any other trades, right? I'm still in this. This is still the same trade for me from 2 hours ago. Still in it, and haven't done anything, nor has anything even come across that was even remotely interesting. Because now the market's doing what people were talking about it was doing for the last 2 weeks, just waiting. But this has been the first moment of the waiting. It's just started about an hour and 40 minutes ago. And on that note, I'm going to get the hell out of here because, wow, I can't keep staring at the screen and doing nothing. So until tomorrow, make sure you know, take that money quickly, do less in the middle of the day. And then the activity obviously should perk up after the Fed meeting. But I think it's going to be choppy after the Fed meeting. It's going to be a battle between the people that think that's a catalyst to buy to the people that think there might be a sell on the news event. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some big chop up, down, up, down, up, down. And then once we come out of that chop mode, whichever direction the market picks, that's the market. That's the word I'm going to join in on. And hopefully it's to the downside. On that note, my silver is doing well. I bought more. Yeah. I bought some cool stuff. Didn't come yet, but I bought. You guys want to see something really cool? Do you know? I gotta get the name of it. A couple of years ago, some anarchist, which is the way I live my life. I love it. This anarchist tried to create his own currency, and he made it seem like it was real, and he got in trouble. But the coins are still out there, and they're just worth the price in silver now. I forgot the name. I forgot his name, but the coins are pretty cool. Check it out. Right? It's not real currency, but he tried to pretend it was real currency. And now you're all deaf. I buy anything with demons on it too. So here's
a proof Hades coin, which is kind of cool. You want to see something really cool? Check this one out. It's a poured silver with a chip of gold from the mine of the town that I was just in Colorado. That's pretty cool. But I got this. It's pretty cool. You guys know about the flowing hair platinum? This is a replica made out of silver, 2-ounce flowing hair. Whoop. Yeah. What else did I get? Oh, I bought an orc. It's supposed to be some good luck thing in Japan. Look at this thing. Fancy. It's an oni from Japan. Comes in a really cool box. I went to a coin show this weekend. What did you guys do? All right. Well, I just wasted money and time, and this Gemmy trade just eats a big one. So that was really just a waste of 2 hours. So if that's what's in store for tomorrow, I just might take the day off, or maybe just trade the first 7 minutes of the day, because after the first 7 minutes of the day, it's been this. I mean, they started off pretty good with open long and the Q's long. And since then, this is it. So maybe we just take the day off tomorrow. Anybody want a day off? I give you permission. Good. Good luck. Take the day off. Estes Park. I got some little Ford ones too from Estes. You can't really see it, but which is where I'm probably going to be moving to. Yeah, we got every time I visit a town in Colorado, I want to move there. I like this town the best so far. Plus, I've been priced out of Boulder and Colorado, and Breckenridge used to be affordable. It's not affordable anymore. But Estes Park, Lake Dillon, Severance. Estes Park is also where the haunted house is from Shining. We went there for drinks. The ghost guy didn't show up. Well, this sucked. Anyway, I mean, Q's never go down. There's really no other trade going on other than that. This is just, oof, man. And you know what? The worst part about it, you can't get these 2 hours back. I could have just spent better just banging my head against the wall for these last 2 hours than sitting here. What a fucking waste of time, for real. And I think this is exactly what we're going to get tomorrow. So no joking. Why not just take the day off? Let's just shut it down. I'll see you Wednesday at 9:30, and I don't think we're going to miss anything tomorrow. And if we do, who cares? It's just one day. But man, this has been painful. All right. Now, again, I'm rooting against you. All right. Interest rates. Hopefully, they raise interest rates 2 points tomorrow. In my delusional, I had a dream or fantasy that Powell shows up to the conference on Wednesday with a "fuck Trump" T-shirt, raises interest rates, tells everybody to suck it, and drops the mic, and then runs away like Cesar Romero as the Joker, and just bounces away in like a cartoon kind of like way. He's getting fired anyway, right? Might as well go out with a bang. Raise interest rates. Raise interest rates. Raise them. There is zero reason to be cutting interest rates right now. They should be raising interest rates because the economy is booming so much. Raise interest rates. Raise them. We should be at 7.5% across the board. Raise them. Society was able to function at 12.5% in 1990. They cut interest rates down to 9.5%, and we coasted there from 1992 to 1996. America will be fine. Let's think about all the unfortunate people that are involved in the stock market that goes up every day. They need interest rates to be up so they can make money in their savings accounts. People will adjust. People will start buying real estate again at 7.5%. They did it once before, they can do it again. The zero interest rate bullshit ruined a lot of people's brains. They should be raising interest rates right now. Completely irresponsible to be lowering interest rates right now. It's a fucking travesty. On that note, I'm still in this stupid Jemmy. I'm going down with this shit. Winklevoss. Oh, by the way, Big Al is buying more Sophie today. My dad never loses. It's just insane. I'm telling him to sell the stock. He's buying more. So, but he's planning on holding it now for the rest of his life, and I mean it. He's been an oracle for 28 years. I finally got him to sell some calls against his position the other day. All right, good luck. I can't stay here anymore. I was hoping something dramatic would happen, so I stayed on a little bit longer. But I still got the same trade. And again, I don't sell unless it breaks down. And you just got, I just got back to break even basically. So unless we're at the lows of the day, I got to hang in there a little bit longer. It's disappointing. I top ticked some of it up there at $33. All right, be careful out there. If you're drinking, don't drive. Don't drive drinking. Driving. I probably will be around tomorrow. Why don't we just stare at each other for an hour, see if anything happens? Maybe I'll teach you through osmosis. How'd that work? Do you feel any smarter? How about this? Wait, before we go, let's take a moment to reflect on how fortunate we are to spend these time together and having a good time and making money, except for that Gemini trade. Wait, I'll do one better. Breathe in the VWAP. And breathe out the Goldman Sachs. Breathe in the VWAP. Breathe out the doubt. Farewell, my friends. You have a good rest of the afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow.